we wouldn't play there for a long time, but because their show was perfect and I wouldn't want to try and follow that.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Just announced a few minutes ago additions to the iHeartRadio Music Festival. We added A$AP Rocky, The Weeknd, and of course Coldplay's Chris Martin, live from Vienna.
Yeah!
Good morning.
Yeah!
Hello, Elvis. Hello, Danielle. Hello, Gandhi. Hello, Scary.
Hello.
How are you doing?
We're here for you. We have so much to talk about. Thank you, first of all, for agreeing to come off the road and roll into Vegas for our show. You've done a few of these.
Yes, that's right. About the iHeart Festival. Yeah, which I have to do on my own.
Did you forget you were going to be there?
I did forget, but I have to do that on my own, which makes it a little more intimidating, but I'm happy to be there nevertheless.
Well, I love it. And I don't know if you like this, but when you sit down at the piano on a stage and start playing a song and then you F it up somehow, like, I effed it up, and you start over. You have no problem exposing imperfections at all times. I find that very original and very cool.
Well, that's very sweet, Elvis. It's nice to be the most famous person for getting things wrong. And
yeah.
If that's my place in the pantheon, I'll take it. You know what he was very good at? He was very good at playing songs badly and then starting them again.
I didn't say they were bad. I mean, to you, an imperfection is big. To us, it sounds great.
We might not have even noticed it until you pointed it out.
It's like that pimple. It's like, I got this pimple. Had you not pointed the pimple out, we would not have noticed it.
I see. No, well, we make mistakes every show, of course. I'm sure maybe you do too, but only occasionally do I feel like it merits a restart, because sometimes it's so terrible that you feel like everyone must have noticed that. But often we breeze through the smaller ones.
So, okay, let's bring everyone up to speed. Last night around 7 o'clock, the new Coldplay single, We Pray, was released, and we're going to play that again in a few minutes. Also, the album, Moo Music, is out in October. And you're on the road a lot.
Yes.
And so you're in Vienna right now. For instance, tell everyone what you did Wednesday night, because I think this is really cool what you guys did in Vienna.
Oh, you mean, yes, because we're playing here. Our shows here were scheduled to be the ones after Taylor Swift had played here, but they had this whole scary fiasco.
Right.
And they had to cancel those shows. So we thought, well, we need to acknowledge all the Swifties that are disappointed. So talking of playing things badly, we played Love Story with an amazing singer called Maggie Rogers, who's on tour with us this leg of the tour. And we did our best, and it doesn't make up for the missing of the real thing, but we did our damnedest to acknowledge.
Oh, that's awesome.
Aw, that's so
I think
cool.
that's great. I love the moment I sit down at your shows, and it's always colorful. There's always movement. There's so many things you can taste and feel and smell, even though you're not putting anything in our noses or on our tongues. This is weird. It's just an unbelievable experience, and to be able to leave the real world behind, there's no easier place to do that than at a Coldplay concert. And here's my idea.
Okay, Elvis.
The Sphere.
Oh.
Coldplay should take over the Sphere that was built for Coldplay was built for the Sphere. The Sphere was built for Coldplay. Have you seen any of the shows at the Sphere yet?
Yes, I went to see the U2 show, which was amazing.
Right.
And we wouldn't play there for a long time, but because their show was perfect and I wouldn't want to try and follow that. And B, because I'm not quite ready to stay in one place. I think we like moving around to see people in different places still. I'm sure one day it will feel more appealing, but right now I love waking up in different countries and trying to say hello in Finnish and then in Taiwanese and then in, it's fun.
Do you ever forget where you are? Like, have you ever gotten on stage and going, "Hey, China," and you're not in China? Hey, China.
I mean, it's funny. That's the one I say most days by mistake. I'm always thinking of China. And no, I haven't. The truth is I haven't done that because I don't really like to address a bunch of people by the name of the place. It's a funny frontman. I try not to be like, "Hey, what's up?" I'll tell you why, because one time I saw an artist on the MTV Asian Awards. They came on and said, "What's up, Asia?" And I thought that was too many people to address at once.
It is. Yes.
So
Totally
It's a heavy load of people.
Yes.
So I feel like I try not to do that. I did it once in 1999 in Leeds. I said, "Hello, York," And that, if you're from Britain, that's a big mistake.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah. My son goes to school in Leeds, so yeah, they would not have been happy.
No.
Okay.
Hooligans come out.
Yeah.
You know what we have been told for years in what we do, and I'm sure anyone on a stage could follow suit, is it's a one-on-one experience. You're not talking to Asia, you're talking to that person right there in the audience, and they feel like you're actually speaking to them, and it's a good reason not to say hello, Asia.
Yeah, but everyone should do what they feel, and I do other really silly stuff. So I'm not criticizing. I'm saying I choose not to do that, and also I don't want to make that mistake of saying the wrong place.
And I know at iHeart Jingle Balls, and we always have a sign right there before they go out on stage that says "You are in London."
Wow!
Just in case they get.
Do they really do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
wow,
it's a nice.
okay.
It's a thing we do for. It's a complimentary service we have for the artists.
Okay.
Scary has a question. What's that?
Chris, you've played our iHeartRadio Music Festival a couple of times now. Can you walk someone who hasn't been there through that experience and explain why it's so great and all the thrill and joy that you get?
Anytime you play a festival, it's an amazing check. It's humbling for the first part. You're like, oh, that artist is really good, or that song's amazing, and this artist is new and sounds better than we've ever been. It keeps you in your place, which is really beautiful. And then there's a healthy amount of like competition, I guess. It feels a bit like what it might feel like to do the American Idol or X Factor auditions. There's an element of like, well, we don't want to be the people who are kicked off this week, as it were, So it's very different to playing your own shows, but I think that adds this extra drive, and I think everyone's trying really hard in a good way. But I think for an audience, I don't know what it's like for an audience. I hope it's really fun. But I love checking in with other artists and seeing what's going on. And so I'm not really answering your question.
I think you are.
I don't think Scary really asked the one anyway. So I think we're good.
I'm totally sated from that answer.
Can I ask a question off music?
Do I have to like translate it?
No, I hope not. I hope not. So I know that you are an avid reader like I am. I love to read books. So what is the last book that you read that you love that maybe you can recommend to somebody?
Well, I just reread The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
What a great... How many times have you read The Alchemist?
I'm going to say 3.
Wow.
I'm up to 2. I'm behind.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, you're younger than me, so when you get to my age, you can talk to 3.
Wait, what?
It is fabulous. What did you get from the third read versus the second or the first?
These are amazing questions. I don't know. I got the same kind of reassurance and restoring of a certain faith or a certain optimism or a certain keep goingness. I think I find that I'm drawn to books like that when my own confidence or optimism or faith is wobbling a bit in humanity or in myself or whatever. So it helps me with that, just to get back on my feet and keep going.
The Alchemist. It's something everyone should read at least one time.
There you go.
So Chris Martin, of course, will be out on stage at the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas on his own. It's a special appearance by Coldplay's Chris Martin, which doesn't make you nervous. I think you're full of crap. You don't get nervous ever. I've never seen you nervous.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I am full of crap. You're right.
The album, of course, is out October 4th, but of course, the single, I'm going to play it for you right now. We're going to play We Pray from Coldplay. Thank you so much for saying yes to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Chris Martin, we'll see you soon, and thank you for being on with us.
Yeah, Chris.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you soon. Thank you.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.